Hi, it's Jim from maverickstar Observatory. At this point, don't quite really know what we're going to be talking about in this video. So it's as much as a mystery to you guys as it is to me at this point. But I'm sure we can find lots of things to talk about. COVID-19, the magnetic pole reversal, and just the general behaviour of the majority of human beings on this planet right now. I'm sure there's something we can find to talk about it. So get yourselves a drink, guys, and chill out with me for the next few minutes. And, I'm interested in not just talking about some of these subjects, but, getting your feedback in the comments section. What's boiling Jean's blood? In general, I'm usually just a very laid back guy, and nothing really boils my blood. I've done a few sales jobs, and your manager in sales work always wants to get some feedback of some sorts, and generally I've been told from the feedback that he's been given that people describe me as a very humble person, and I think I am a humble person. I am generally happy with, I don't need the best of everything. It would be nice, wouldn't it, guys? I think we all dream about having millions of pounds and just letting loose with it, buying our exotic fantasies and dreams and things like that. But generally I'm just happy with just some small things. One of the small things I'm really happy about is when my partner's here, she's in Poland at the moment, but when she's here, is just having her hold me on the night and breathing my back, and when she knows I'm awake in the morning, I get a few kisses in the back of my neck, and it's just beautiful. That to me is worth more than any money in the world. And at the moment, like I say, she's in Poland. She'll be back next week, so I will be rekindled with that best thing in the world. But for a lot of people, it's a lot of other things. A lot of people, they are just money motivated, and this, I feel, is one of the things that is destroying our world. Money, let's face it, money is a good thing because it enables us to participate in this system that we've got. It's funny because I was talking to my sister this morning about this issue, and I see that the monetary system is outdated, and it's stale. It's well past its sell-by date. It should be replaced with something else, and there is strong reasoning behind this and strong logic behind this. It's because how can we continue in a technological advancement where we are building robots that are taking jobs away from the workforce and then still expect people to participate in the monetary system when we are expanding our population? We're at 7 billion people right now, and technology has taken the majority of the jobs away from them. And that's fine, but if you want people to participate in a system that is set up with money of some sorts or currencies, then you need to give them a way to obtain that. And there are 3 ways, as I explained to my sister. You can steal it, and most of us have a conscience and we don't want to spend or risk spending time in jail to get it. You can be given it in benefits of some sort, some government handouts, and that doesn't really give you a very good quality of life. Or you can work for it. But if the jobs are reducing at the same rate, technological advancement is increasing, then how do you expect people to still participate in this monetary system? Are you prepared, if you're the governments, to, penalise people with benefits? Benefits are just so completely wrong. I don't even like the term benefits. Our governments have paid farmers not to produce certain cattle in previous years. I'm not sure about whether that is the case at the moment, but they called it subsidies. They give them the same amount of money which they would get if they didn't produce that cattle, and they imported it instead. So, why do they call, when human beings are involved in this circle, why do they call it benefits and not subsidies? It just doesn't make any sense to me. There's a lot of things that don't make sense to me at the moment. The British government at the moment are just entangled with right and wrong and what to do and what not to do with regards to this pandemic. I will say this: if it was designed, it's perfect. It's perfectly been designed for the reason that, if you want to take control of the majority of people and their behaviour, then you couldn't have come up with a better idea than a pandemic like we've got right now circulating around the world. And what worries me is that it does look like by design, and I don't think it, in my scientific opinion, I don't think it's worse than the common cold. People die of pneumonia every day in the world. And they did before COVID-19 came about. People would go in hospital, elderly people that are vulnerable, same as the people that are being affected by COVID-19. They would go into hospital and they would have a hip operation, catch pneumonia in hospital and die. Plenty examples of that being the case. But the worrying thing about this is whether it's as lethal as the governments are portraying it is. It's the level of measures of behavioural restrictions that we are now being imposed on. We're being forced to abide by these, and they are enforcing them by laws and fines. And that's a different matter. Our freedoms are being taken away. Right now, you could easily flip this upside down and reverse it on the government and saying you are behaving tyrannical because you are not allowing freedom of speech, freedom of information, freedom to protest. Isn't it just hypocritical right now how they say this is a dictator, that is a dictator, and look at China right now in Hong Kong restricting people's from gathering in groups and protesting. Because all this is elimination of the opposition, and with this you always end up with dictators that you see around the world today. Perfect example, Belarus at the moment, Alexander Litvinenko, whatever his name is, Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un in North Korea. These people still exist in this modern age, and they are like antiques. We shouldn't have them around anymore, and we shouldn't have the ability for anybody to manipulate a voting system. Yet every voting system today is manipulable. It's simply done by algorithms, similar to what we've seen on my channel this week, where it shows over the last 30 days I've had 30,000 views, yet they are still paying me for 130,000 views. And the reason for that is the legality of this. Yes, they can say to you guys, Gene's not that popular, what he talks about isn't that interesting, and look at there we are, only 30,000 views for the month. But the real fact is that they are paying me for 130,000+ views at the end of the month. They don't pay a lot, guys, I'll be honest with you. If I get For every 1,000 views, £1. I'm lucky to do that. Sometimes it goes down to 86p, it fluctuates, but there is a legality that they have to abide by, and that's what they're doing. And that's why on AdSense, when I check my account for the adverts that have been put on there, and I will be honest with you, if we wasn't struggling so much right now, them adverts would be kicked straight off this channel. They would. And I kept this channel advert free for about 9 years, didn't I, guys? If you've been following me, I completely refused to do it. But things got to the point where, you know, if we want to keep moving forward, we need revenue raised, and therefore we need to put the adverts on. But I really would love nothing more to kick the adverts clean off of my channel on YouTube. And the only way I could do that would be to raise a little bit more revenue. Just putting it down there as it is, guys. You know, at the moment I'm gonna get £150, which for me pays my car insurance and the telephone bill. And you know, it's a little help more than anything else. So you know, COVID-19 is a perfect example, a perfect plan to remove freedoms of a lot of people. And you know, here we are. We got this for years to come, you know that, don't you? I know that 90% of this Earth's population are under the influence that this is going to clear away very quickly, but I'm just sorry to say to you that you've got it for years, and possibly more than 5 years. But by then we've got the pole shift coming in any case, so it might be just, you know, it might be a benefit for us to go through that as well. I mean, there's a lot. I'm not being optimistic all the time about the pole shift. You know, there is some negative sides to it. Obviously, a lot of negative sides, but there's also negative sides that a lot of people don't want to discuss about the way we're all living right now. It's abnormal, completely abnormal. We're the only species on this planet that has to apply for a right to build a dwelling. The only species out of billions. Now, if you stood in a room and everyone pointed at you and said, your behaviour is abnormal, we're talking 1,000 people, for instance, and said, your behaviour is abnormal, you might question that. So if there's a billion species on this planet and we're the only ones that are behaving like we are, then there is something wrong with our behaviour. Wouldn't you agree? Does that sound logic? You know, let me tell you something. That sparrow out there right now, or that finch, or whatever it is, might decide to put its nest in that particular tree over there, and there isn't going to be any regulations stopping it doing it. There's also a fox that wants to dig a hole and put its cub's nest in there, over there. No regulations. The badger, the same thing. And the rabbit, same thing. You know, the birds of all species, you know, the insects, the ants, everything across the biodiversity on this planet has no regulations of such. They do it where they want to, and nobody interferes. Only human beings do this bullshit. And the only reason that this is taking place is because someone is making money out of it. And this is just nothing short of corruption. It needs to stop, you know. We need something to replace the monetary system where nobody is barred from resources, nobody is barred from technology, nobody is barred from opportunities to experience nice things. They want to go on a plane 3 times around the world, then why not? You know, if they want a nice car, why not have one? Why have we got to have this monetary system in place? I'll tell you why. The only reason we've got it in place right now is because the elites are at the top of the food chain, and they love the emperor lifestyles that it allows them, and they want to keep that. And in order to do that, they will take a country completely and entirely to war with another country in order to secure those wealthy resources for them that keeps them at the top of the tree. 90% of the world aren't even interested in the dynamics that are taking place in our world right now, and 90% of the population have no logical thinking. They're not interested in making changes. They're not interested in making this world a better place for even their children. I know lots of parents that shouldn't even have kids because they do not care about the future generations to come on this planet. What they are doing is wiping their arse with this planet and leaving it for their future generations to clean up. It's an insane world, and there needs to be a reset, doesn't there? And it will come. I guarantee you it will come. The behaviour is here right now. We are just waiting for the boss to get out of the chair and say, right, I'm ready for them right now. It's overdue, isn't it? Somebody mentioned this to me tonight. This is a bit of a cocktail, I'll be honest with you. It's apple cider and a beer. Some people call it a snake bite. You want to try it, but just be careful because you don't need more than one really to get a bit lightheaded on it. It's strong. It tastes like pop. It really tastes like you're drinking apple juice with a bit of fizz in it. So, try it, guys, one of the nights. It's good. Where should we leave off? On what note? Okay. I can do my best with as little as possible. I've got to say this, and I know you're going to switch off straight away, because we're talking about funding. So if you want to do it, you know what? If you can't hear it, I don't mind. Go. Just go. If you can't, listen to what I've got to say, right? We've raised £40 for the observatory on PayPal in the last 6 days. It costs me sometimes to send some of this equipment out when it goes out, more than that in postage and packaging. To buy one photosilicon multiplier, £90, £100, £118 actually, when it gets the delivery added to it. So, I just ask you guys, what do you want me to do here with this? What's the remedy? I'm trying to keep it free for the majority of the people that, view these videos and come to the website for the information on this rare anomaly that we've got. But what do we do when we only raise £40 in 6 days? Nobody can live on that, and nobody can sustain, what we're doing right now on that, and it is going to come to an end if we don't get any support. And that might be what, these powers that be want, just to crush out every little chance that, a spark of light has, like our observatory. The only thing that will keep that spark going is people, supporting it at the end of the day. If we don't get the support, then we will fizzle out, just like you are watching now. Those little high street shops that you enjoyed in the shopping malls that you enjoyed, and so on and so forth. The only thing that you can do is to say, no, I'm not going to let that happen. This is one thing I'm not going to let disappear because I need this, and you really do. We are probably about 2 or 3 years away from a massive anomaly taking place. And we do have, the ability to predict where to be at the right time here at this observatory. And that's what we're efforting right now, guys. getting that information to as many people as we can. So, there's a link down there if you want to help support us. You can do so. We try and have avoided, up until this date, no corporate funding. So we can just give the bird to, all the other organisations. They will not infiltrate our our little observatory and tell us what we can broadcast to the people with regards to our findings. We keep it that way. Anyhow, you know what, guys? Have an amazing evening. Again, I've pushed the boat out for you and I've lit the romantic candles for you. So the only thing to say is a link down there to support the observatory. And as always, guys, you take care. I'll catch you up on tomorrow, and be safe as always. Bye for now.